Today's video is all about hunting in Palia. This is what we're going to be covering. What you can hunt, the types of creatures in Palia that you can kill and get drops, what types of creatures there are, tips and tricks to handle all the creatures, the different ammo types that you'll be using, their damage values, the best arrows to use for what creatures, and how to profit further from, instead of just selling the drops, how to refine the drops so that they are worth even more gold, and how much gold per hour you can make from that. Let's get into it. Now, there are two creatures currently in Palia, the Chappa and the Sernuk. The Sernuk here is a deer-like creature, and there are three different types. This here is just called a Sernuk. It is a light brown in color, it's got some spots, maybe a little bit of horns. These things are what you'll mostly be hunting for the maximum gold per hour ratio. Also, just a random fun fact about all the creatures. If you approach them from the air with your glider, they will not react to you until you hit the ground. So animals in this game will run from you, but if you drop down on them like this, they do not react until you're right on top of them, and then they run away. So just a fun fact. Now, the Sernuk is the weakest of the Sernuk creature variety, and here is the damage values. It either takes 2 makeshift arrows or 1 standard arrow. So here I will use a standard arrow, and they die in 1 hit. It's pretty simple. This is what I recommend for hunting all Sernuks in this game, is just standard arrows. They're cheap, and you can mass produce them very quickly without dedicating too much time to farming materials. Here are some Sernuk hunting tips. Shoot them all first and then loot them so you don't spook them. If you do spook some of them, wait for them to calm down before you shoot them, unless you just want to waste arrows. And finally, try to kill the outer ones first so you don't spook them all at once. I'll demonstrate now. We have a bunch of Sernuks here. I'm on the hill, I'm going to be sniping, so we're going to kill that one, this one, and there's another person shooting into the crowd. Also, if there are other players around, there's a few things that you can do. If you want to be cooperative, if you shoot near a Sernuk and spook them, everyone that shoots near them and spooks them will get credit. For instance, if I shoot this one and miss, well, I guess I didn't miss there, but if this person would have killed that one after I spooked it with the arrow, like so. If you shoot an arrow near a Sernuk, they will get scared. If you run near them, they will get scared, but you have to shoot near them, and then that puts you technically in combat with the Sernuk. And if another player kills this, like this Cal Storm here, let's see if he kills one. There we go, and I get a loot bag. I should get a loot bag for both of those, because I scared them. Even though I didn't touch them, because I am actively hunting them, I am now part of the loot table. And loot in this game is not shared, it is duplicated. So if there was 10 of us, and we all shot an arrow and missed one Sernuk, and one guy kills it, we all get the same loot. And the loot is not randomized per person from my testing currently. So if we have, you know, like 5 people, and then we all spook the same Sernuk and kill it, and say I get a hide, then everyone else is also only just getting a hide. Whereas if I got the horns, the meat, and the hide, more on this later, then we're all getting it. And so, yes, when hunting Sernuks, you simply just want to kill the outliers first so you don't spook the whole pack, and then kind of work your way inwards. Also, I recommend killing them all first and then looting, because if you don't, other players may get some kills and you might miss out on some loot. So always just mass murder them whenever you can. And another good reason why you should also just delete them all is because the sooner that the area is empty, the sooner they can start respawning. And you definitely want to abuse the respawn mechanics, because when there are no Sernuks in an area, after a little while, the game will repopulate them, especially if you've moved a little bit slightly away. You can see here that they're already starting to repopulate, and I've thought that it might have been the time of day that affects this, but it is not. Sernuks have, to my testing, my thorough testing, I am level 28 in hunting here, which is quite a lot of grinding. I have thoroughly tested this, and the time of day does not matter when hunting a Sernuk at all. Next up is the Elder Sernuk. The way to tell if it is an Elder Sernuk, it will have a nice darker kind of coat, a little bit of an orange streak here, with bigger horns. These things take a little bit more hits. With a standard arrow, it will take 4 hits. A iron arrow will take 3 hits, and a slow arrow will also only take 4 hits. If you are new, I recommend using slowing arrows. I didn't mean to take a picture there. But if you're a pro, you can do jump shots and animation cancels to kind of keep up with the beast so you can take it down. Otherwise, you can use a slowing arrow, and then these things become really, really simple. So I've got a slowing arrow. This thing can barely run away. That means I can just do jump shots on it and take it out. So there we go. And the reason why you want to kill Elder Sernuks is for the Elder Sernuk horns, which are used to craft a tracking device called the Hunter's Horn. More on this later. Now, after you've hunted for a while, there are some advanced techniques that will let you move and loot very quickly, and that is how you're going to maximize your gold per hour when doing hunting. For instance, as you can see, I'm basically one-shotting everything. I'm able to keep my momentum, except for right there where I messed up, but I'm able to loot things very, very quickly and pick up things as I'm continuously moving. I have an entire video dedicated to this subject, and it does take a little bit of learning to be able to pull this off, but let me show you on the screen what that looks like. The villager that is all about hunting is Hassian here. You talk to him, and he is the one that you learn all the recipes from. You can also spend your medals. Now, big pro tip for in-game hunting. Hunting medals don't really do much. You can craft these arrows insanely cheap, even the Dispel arrows. Never, ever, ever, ever spend your medals on any of the arrows. Don't even buy the Hunter's Horn. This is a bad trade. What you want to buy, the whole point of hunting is money making. And if you buy these fireworks, you're spending 6 medals to earn 500 gold. That is insane. That is one of the best deals you can get from any of the NPCs vendors for medals for money. It is just nuts. It's crazy good. It's why I recommend hunting to everybody. Anyway, back to the tutorial now, and let's actually not mess up my animation cancel. So on screen here is the video that will teach you how to animation cancel, how to move nearly twice as fast, how to pick up things off the ground without losing momentum. This video is amazing. You have to watch this. There will be a link in the description. Just scroll down, click more on the description, and it'll be right in here somewhere. Or just find this thumbnail, or search this this title on my channel. You'll be able to find it. This is a must-watch if you want to be the best possible hunter. By the way, if you want to know durability, about 110 hunted Sernuks on the Exquisite Bow, that's the highest leveled bow, is about 25% of your entire bow's durability. But yeah, here is a perfect example of a very nice field full of Sernuks, okay? So we're just gonna, snipe them all. We're gonna alert that one. He's gonna run away. That's fine. Snipe the ones in the distance there. And then we just go pick up the loot. And this is the best gold per hour in the entire game, especially if you consistently do this. Now, yes, of course, there are things that you can grow on your farm for more gold per hour, but I'm talking about actively playing gold per hour, not passive farms, not machines on your island, not crops, not refining. We'll talk more about refining everything later. And you can see that the respawns, it's kind of hard to keep up with all the respawns. But, you just comb the entire area. Also, make sure that you're not out of focus so that you can level up hunting for more medals. Always good. And I took just a few steps forward, and look, there's even more to hunt, and they just keep repopping. And if you're wondering how I'm shooting so fast, I'm canceling the bow's draw animation to redraw and refire. Again, that video that I showed a bit ago will have all the information you need. And of course, quick loot, quick swap, quick shot, quick loot, quick swap, shoot, jump shot. And yeah, you need to learn these techniques if you want to be able to hunt way faster than other players and earn more gold per hour. Got stuck on the fence there. But you don't have to be an FPS pro to be able to pull this off. It just takes a little bit of playing. You probably won't get it your first day. And I messed that up there twice. 3 times? 3 times I messed that one up. Oh well, it's fine. We're going to keep it in the video, guys. Also, another hunting tip. I recommend that if there are a lot of players hunting in the area, that you simply just disconnect from the server, reconnect, and try to get one where people aren't as around. I'm currently playing at 7 in the morning, so there's not as people online. Looks like there's one guy, but because I'm able to tag all the enemies before him, I'm getting the lion's share of the loot. Oh, there we go. Once you have advanced movement down, these Elder Sernuks are very easy to defeat. Of course, I missed my first shot, but I'm able to do jump shots and mostly keep up with it, especially since it's kind of cornered here. And I ended up shooting a tree. But you can see that it really can't escape. It can't get much distance, even on a straightaway, because I'm able to move and shoot. I'm able to keep up with it. And that makes, again, it makes it way easier to farm all the Sernuks here. And when jump shooting, you can always cancel if you need to readjust your aim. And you just get used to it. Also, the hitbox is... That's a respawn right in front of my face. Also, the hitbox for the arrows is very generous. It's almost like you have a grenade launcher. The hitbox is so large. But as you can see, I just hunted this whole area in seconds. And when I'm doing these little jump momentum, quick loot cancels, I don't even know what to call them, I'm able to scoop up all the bags insanely fast, except for that one because I jumped a little too high. You don't even have to jump. You can just kind of cancel the pocket putting away animation. So this is what it normally looks like when you loot something. You run up and you do this very slow pocket stuffing animation on every single drop. And while you're doing that, you know, there's Sernuks to be hunted. So this is way too slow. Why not just jump over the item and instantly loot it while keeping momentum, able to weapon swap, shoot everything that you can, and that's just the better way to do it. So we're going to, again, pop him, swap, grab the loot here. This is very important to learn this. I can't stress this enough. Now, behind me is another player that was hunting, but he was standing in place and trying to shoot them all. Whereas I'm able to move forward, jump shot all of the creatures here, except for, well, when I mess up, of course. And, you know, you still mess up from time to time. That one vanished. But hey, look, repops. Like, look at this. This guy, the guy that's behind me, he's missing out on all of these. And, they keep disappearing. But yeah, he did not get any of that loot, unless he shot at these earlier. But, oh, there it is. Well, they keep, like, being weird on my screen. But you can see that I'm able to just, like, hunt every single one of these. And because I tagged this one, whenever that other player, if he's hunting this later, kills that, it'll just be a loot bag. So I'm going to let that one go for now. But, yeah, I'm missing quite a bit. Of course, when I'm recording, it's, I miss them all. But you can see that, I'm able to clear entire areas in mere seconds. Whereas the, you know, the inexperienced hunter is trying to be like a turret instead of an active moving, you know, killer. So you gotta learn these techniques. You absolutely have to. So where should you hunt Sernuks? Well, I'll show you. This is paliamaps.com. You can go to hunting and then turn on Sernuk. And what I've been showing you in the video so far is mostly around here in these areas. You can see here the Elder Sernuk is near the entrance to Bahari Bay. Not really the best place to hunt Elder Sernuks on this map, but if you see them, you might as well get them, because you do need to make those trackers for later, and it's good money. But I just kind of rotate clockwise, maybe counterclockwise, while I'm doing mining for copper, and while I'm doing foraging for the purple lotuses, the mosses, the flowers, and the mushrooms. This is my favorite spot in the entire game to hunt, and the coolest thing is that you live right here. This is your house. So you just go southeast for like maybe 10 seconds and you're already at the hunting grounds. It's great. Now, there is still a lot to talk about hunting Chappas, the magical Proudhorn Sernuks, the striped Chappas, the spotted tail Chappas, all that fun stuff. We're going to get to that, and I'm going to talk about the more advanced ammo, the Dispel arrows, and all that fun stuff. But first, I want to show you the loot we got from using about 200 standard arrows. It's 10 copper bars. So for those that don't know the recipes, you'll get to know these as you play. But the arrow you will be using the most is the standard arrow. It costs 1 copper bar and just 5 wood, sapwood. Like these are just wooden, you know, they're not planks. You don't have to refine the wood. You just go chop a tree, you go mine some copper. You do have to refine it into a bar. 1 bar, 5 wood makes you 20 standard arrows. I want to show you the loot from 200 arrows used. And this is about what I average. So let's put it in the box and see how much gold we made. Now this is unrefined. We're going to refine this and earn even more gold. So let's just throw it in the box, including things that aren't hunting that we got along the way. Because part of hunting is picking up everything you see along the way. Just 200 arrows turned into 4,678 gold, unrefined. I'm going to show you how to refine this stuff. But let's take it out of the box and let me talk about what kind of loot we got and what kind of loot you can expect to get. So first off, you get Sernuk hide. This can be turned into leather. I'll talk more about how to unlock that later. It was a big mystery to me when I was a new player. I actually had to look it up because the game doesn't tell you. And gamers like me tend to not do the thing that unlocks leather. Next up is the Sernuk antlers. These currently do not have a use in the game. Only the elder antlers have a use. It says it's used in medicine and decoration, but there is nothing in the game I can buy from the crafting shop to use these as a decoration, and there is no medicine that I know of that you can make with this. Next up is the Sernuk meat, which I'm going to show you what I personally use it for, but it's also used in cooking, obviously. This is moss that I got near the hunting ground. I have an entire video dedicated to the carpet moss. Let me show you, because it's very important. So this is my most popular Palia video so far. 12,000 views in 3 days. Wow. So this is Get Rich Early with this big money recipe, and this is the, I forget what it's called, but let me just show you in the game. Look for this video. It's very important. And just quick tutorial. On the campfire, you get Fisherman's Brew. 5 of these. It takes 1 Crystal Lake Lotus and 1 Emerald Carpet Moss, and these can be crafted into higher quality, and they are worth so much when they are quality crafted. This one is quality crafted. So that's 5 Fisherman Brews for 1 flower and 1 moss, and we're going to put it in the sales bin, 140 gold. Easy, easy money. Always pick up the moss. Always pick up these Crystal Lake Lotuses. I'm going to put them in, no, not in the sales bin, in the storage. We're going to put those in storage. And even though that's not part of hunting, it's near the hunting grounds I showed you, always pick it up. Next up, we have this silk thread. This came from this pink Princess Ladybug. Again, these are near the hunting grounds. When you see a pink bug on the ground, always catch it, because these things are worth 145 gold. The silk thread is 1 to 5 it can drop, and then you can turn this into silk for even more money. More on that a little bit later. And then you have the quality antlers. You can use antlers as gifts for NPCs, but I don't know too much about that right now. So you can save them for gifts. I think Kenyatta likes the antlers, and the hunting guy, Hassian, I think he likes them too. We got a few more bugs that we caught. Also, we picked up a bunch of mushrooms. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, before we talk about chappas and the magical beasts and tracking them, I'm going to teach you how to refine your drops, because this is very important. You always want to refine your drops to get the most gold value out of them, because you can really push those numbers even higher. So we're going to drop a loom here, and the way to unlock the loom is you need to craft furniture and then talk to Tish. It will not appear in her learning inventory of recipes. Level furniture making to level 4, it's actually super duper easy to do. You just go to your crafting bench, you click decor, and you'll see a green check mark on everything you've ever crafted. So you just go down the list and craft everything that does not have a green check mark. Like, I could make this tea set, and it costs 8 ceramic. Who cares, right? And then you learn a new crafting thing, and you just keep doing that, and you will get experience so fast. I'm just going to throw that, what is that table that I just learned? Where'd it go? There it is, teapot. All right, there we go. So you do that to level 4. You go talk to Tish. She'll teach you how to make the loom. And then once you have the loom, you can throw your Sernuk hides into the loom. And these take 5 minutes to turn into a leather. So as you can see here, a Sernuk hide is worth 13 gold. And a leather is worth 15 gold. So you're earning 2 extra gold each. That does not sound like a lot, and you maybe think, well, that's not worth it. But look, I have 50, 100, 150, 150 hides. All right, that's 450 additional gold for one hunt. That was one hunting trip, 450 additional gold that I'm going to make from that. So we're going to go ahead and store the rest of our hide, and we're going to manufacture that later. Silk is from bugs. I'm not going to talk about silk. It's also here from the fabric, or the loom. You need furniture making level 6 to unlock this recipe. Pretty simple, but again, we don't get silk from hunting. It's not really relevant. Next up is the horns. Like I said, the horns have no use, so you can throw them in the box and sell them. I'm currently saving them for NPC gifts, or when they introduce something into the game. It is the elder horns, the elder Sernuk antlers that you get from those elder Sernuks, you know, the brown ones that we talked about. These are used to craft the hunter's horn. which lets you track rare creatures for 15 minutes. I'm going to show you what that looks like and how it works in a little bit, but for now, the reason why you want to save the Elder Horns is because even if you don't use them, they're a better flip to craft. So you go to Elder's Horn, right? This Elder's Horn, 100 gold, 3 Chappa furs, more on Chappas later, 39, so we're 139 gold, and then 5 leather, that's 75, so it's around 200 something, right? The Hunter's Horn, if we sell it, just straight up, that's 215. It's a slight profit, so that's why we save them, and that's how we transform them. But you kind of really want these to hunt the magical beasts, so you can really get the good gifts and get those NPCs leveled up very, very quickly. So finally, let's talk about meat. Meat sells for 13, and then quality meat is 19. Here's what I do with meat. I do several different things. First off, I have these worm boxes. When you start out, you'll have regular worm boxes, but as you play the game, you will unlock the glow worm boxes. So we're taking, well, I'm using quality meat in that one. Let's find a better example. That's Chappa meat in that one. Well, I guess I took out all the regular meat because I used it up tomatoes. Yeah, I just throw all my useless food in here. But essentially, you take your meat and you throw it in here. And one of these Sernuk meats will become 1 worm worth 25. And then you'll get a bunch of fertilizer as well worth 5 each. I think it's like 8 or 9. So I'm turning 13 gold into like 40 gold or 39 gold or something. It's really a good flip. But also, Sernuk meat is used in so many different dishes. It's used in cooking. You can use Chappa meat for the Aquindu Chappa steak dinner. You can use any meat. You know, noodle stew, any meat. There is so many different things to cook in this game that use meat. I personally really like meaty stir fry. I don't have any rice at the moment, but that's what I generally use the meat for. And you're going to be eating a lot of food until you get potatoes going, and then put them in the preservative thing. I don't have any potatoes at the moment, but pickled potatoes are absolutely amazing when quality crafted. They are 405 focus points. Absolutely worth it. Right now I just have tomatoes because I have way too many tomatoes, and I have not enough seed machines to make money out of those. That's a separate video for another time. What about the repairs? We use 200 arrows, and what is our repair? It's 39 repair kits. You can also go to town and just repair it with gold. You make more than enough gold to afford repairs, absolutely. But I'm just going to craft the repair kit because this is way cheaper, and I don't have to run all the way to the blacksmith in town. I can just repair my stuff here. There we go. We're fully repaired. If you do not repair your bow or any of your equipment and it breaks, it doesn't break. It just downgrades 1 tier. So I have exquisite, so it would become the iron bow, whatever that's called. I forget. I haven't had that in a long time. But that is what I use the meat for. And don't just cook the meat on the campfire. That's not a good flip. And then the mushrooms, I also use it for the worm boxes. And there we go. Let's store everything away, make sure we have enough food, and we're going to craft some more arrows for the next hunting session. Oh, and I just want to clarify for the worm boxes, I don't sell the worms and fertilizer. I use the worms to fish, which multiplies the value of that. That's a separate video. And then I use a fertilizer, obviously, on the plants, because that multiplies its value. Again, separate videos for that. But as a brand new player, grilling meat is going to be an amazing source of focus. It does take 2 meats for only 50 focus, but it's all you really have early game to keep your focus up so you level up faster. Final tip for Sernuks, the basic ones at least, you cannot outrun them. They, on a straightaway or a clearing, they will just get away from you. Your run speed cannot match theirs. If they get cornered or hit an area that they can't traverse, they do kind of make a sharp 90-degree turn. But on a straightaway like this, you will never be able to catch them. And they will just continuously run away until they get far enough away until they go back to a resting state. So don't just sit here and chase them like this because they will just run forever. Unless you want to, like, you know, like, twitch shot them or something. Just let them run away a bit. They will go back to a resting state. I believe I talked about this earlier. And then once they're at rest, you can then kill them very easily. Now, let's talk about Chappas. The Chappa is a orange creature. They're kind of like a fox-like creature with a platypus tail. It's a little hard to describe, but there's a Chappa right there. He's in the grass. And, again, they're just like little chubby creatures. But, here's some Chappa tips. When they run from you, you have a limited amount of time to kill them before they burrow into the ground. Now, Chappas aren't very fast. You can clearly catch up to them. They'll then burrow into the ground and then disappear. And once they've done that, they're gone. You can't kill them anymore. You can't dig them up. There's nothing you can really do. I wish the game would let us dig them up. That would be really cool. But unfortunately, no, that's not a thing. So Chappas are very fragile creatures. They die in one arrow all the time. It doesn't matter what arrow you use. They will always die in one arrow. So you can use the makeshift arrow. That's your starting arrow. You can use the iron arrow, the standard arrow, which you really shouldn't use iron arrows ever. I'll talk more about that later. But just any arrow will kill a basic Chappa, not the upgraded ones. I'm going to show you what those look like. So here's some tips for hunting Chappas, which you should still do. They give the same amount of money as the Sternuks. It's just they're harder to hit because they're smaller. They're spooked easier. But a few things, like once you see a herd of Chappas, or whatever you want to call them, a pack of Chappas, a Chappa pack, just start shooting, just start blasting. And their hitbox is much smaller, but you can wait for them to burrow, and during their burrow animation, they are vulnerable. So you can just shoot the hole that they're going into and they die. So that's really easy, and you can follow them. They're not very fast. Like you can just sit here and jump shoot them, you know, from like basically melee range. And that's really the best way to deal with the Chappas, is just bolt at them. I mean, you're a bipedal human, you're faster than them, and just once you get close, jump shot them, and then that is the easy way to take care of them. Otherwise, if they're standing still like that, oops, I missed. You can still miss because they are a small target, but you can just run them down. You know, they're not very quick creatures. They're kind of slow. And again, if you don't want to wait, if you don't want to shoot them while they're moving, wait for them to burrow, because they always will burrow. And there we go. We got a spotted Chappa tail of higher quality, and those are great gifts for NPCs too. But yeah, Chappas are pretty easy to kill. So what about basic Chappa loot? Well, they have the spotted Chappa tail, which is used in... I haven't found any decorations they're in, but they do make great gifts, and they sell for a decent amount. The meat is used exactly the same, has the exact same value as the Sernuk meat. Now, the fur is different. You cannot turn this into leather, unfortunately, but you can turn these into these sneaky smoke bombs, which are used to capture bugs. So you always want to have a good chunk of fur on hand. Otherwise, I usually have a huge surplus because I never like transform them all in time. So I end up just selling these raw. I haven't really found a really good thing that these are used in, you know, for a good money flip. So I'll show you all the spots on the map here that Chappas are at. They're right near the village. Also, you can get the striped ones. These are the upgraded ones. I'll show you what those look like later. They're near the mayor's estate. There's a whole bunch near Leafhopper Hills. This is probably the main hunting area. The reason you want to come over here anyways for spices, so you will be hunting Chappas. Also, Chappas share space with Sernuks. Here's Sernuks. You can see that they do share some spaces kind of up north and south here on the left side of the map. Though Chappa hunting is way better when you go to the Bahari Bay map. There are way more Chappas down here, and there's magical Chappas all over the place. They're not really found on the northern part. We'll talk more about that later. That's for the Sernuks, because that's where the Proudhorn, those are the magical Sernuks, and you have more Elder Sernuks on the secondary map. This is Bahari Bay. Now, here is a striped Chappa. It's running away from me, unfortunately, but you can see it's kind of a browner, oranger color, and if you hit it while it burrows, it will have to unburrow and run away some more. These take 2 standard arrows to kill, or they take 1 iron arrow. If you're only going to hunt the striped Chappas, then I recommend the iron arrow, but really the iron arrow isn't that good, and Chappas are so easy to kill that you're just better off using 2 standard arrows. It's economically cheaper. These things are, again, like super easy to hunt. Just run them down, do a jump shot, pick up their loot. It's simple, man. Now, their loot, which I did not get, so I can't show it, instead of a spotted Chappa tail, it will be a striped Chappa tail. Again, I don't know a use for these other than NPC gifts, so I just sell them raw. There's like nothing you can turn them into currently in the game. So let's talk about hunting magical beasts. Magical beasts exist on the Bahari Bay map, and they're pretty rare. They're also constantly hunted. Your best bet is just shooting at one, and a bunch of players will eventually aggro onto it. Aggro is an MMO term where a mob will attack the highest threat target, or, you know, start attacking you if you move in range. essentially, when a bunch of players see or hear a magical beast, they all just zerg it down. The term zerg means a bunch of people doing one action. So, in order to find these magical beasts, we're going to be using the item called the Hunter's Horn. And what this will do is, it's going to make a pretty big radius around us on the map here, where we can see these magic beasts around us. There's a chance there's none here, but I'm going to go ahead and use it for 15 minutes, and it plays a horn sound. I can now see magic beasts on the map, so let me run around until I find one. Man, I have explored for a little bit now, and there was nothing on the southern side, but you see this little bow icon that's kind of blue here? You can put a map marker on it, and that shows that 120 meters away, there's a magic creature. Because we're in the north, this is the Proudhorn Sernuk. So we're going to be using, well, I don't recommend using this because it's not very good. But let's see if we can get a nice picture of the Proudhorn here. Now, the Proudhorn Sernuk is a magical creature, as you can see with the magical blue lines and the kind of the white pale hue. Take a little picture there, we're a little photography. And the Dispel arrow will prevent it from teleporting. I'm just going to shoot a regular arrow, and you can see how annoying this thing is to fight. So there we go. And it's going to start teleporting away with magic. And these things are hard to follow. Look, it's already all the way across the other side there. And it's teleporting again, or it was. So now it's calmed down. Cool. So a Dispel arrow, when I shoot this, is going to prevent it from teleporting. Now it just runs normally. The Dispel arrow doesn't deal more damage, but it regains its magic very shortly. And thanks to the tracking powers I have, I can still follow it using my compass at the top of the screen. I can line up the icon to see where it teleported to. There it is. I recommend slowing arrows, and it's approaching me. And it's going to teleport away again. So we're going to let it calm down, and then we're going to shoot it some more. And how many hits it takes to kill this thing? Well, we've hit it with a Dispel arrow and a standard. So the Dispel arrow has the power of the Iron arrow. Because the Dispel arrow doesn't dispel it that long, I recommend a slowing arrow. So here's what that does. There we go, it's slowed. It's still going to teleport, but now it can't really run all that fast. Except, oh, they patched it. The teleport cleanses the slow. Look at that. It's now a crowd control break. So, well, I'm glad they fixed it. Because used to, you would just hunt these with slow arrows. I'm just going to hunt it with standard arrows, because I can still track this thing. I do want to mention that sometimes these beasts will teleport themselves inside walls, and then they're dead. Like you can't get them, you can't loot them, they can't escape the walls. And it's still going to be teleporting around. But, you know, I'm a pretty good shot. So it's kind of fun to hunt these. It's like a little raid boss, sort of. But not really. There's no real danger in the game, because we're an apex predator. There's nothing that really hunts us. But you can see, you know, this thing is able to run a very far distance away. And there it is. So let's hit it with another Dispel arrow. There we go. And it's dead. Oh, I don't know if this guy got to shoot it or not. But let's see the loot. We got 5 hides and 1 meat. So that sucks. But you can get the Proudhorn Sternuk antlers from that. That's the rare drop. It's the best gift you can give. And if you get a quality one, it's part of an achievement. Also, the first time you hunt it, you will receive the head of the deer, the Sernuk, and you can mount it on your wall in your house. So very cool. Now, here's a tip. I've explored the entire northern part, and there's no enchanted magical beasts. I've explored the entire southern part, and there's no magical beasts. When this happens, exit the game. You will still keep your buff. It will be running down its timer while you're logged out. And then log back into the game to get a new server with hopefully some magical beasts. Alright, I have located one on the map, and this is possibly the, you can still hear the login music, by the way, because I just switched servers twice. But this is possibly, it looks like, yes, it's a Chappa. It's a magical Chappa. You can tell because they are a pale, come on, zoom in. They are a pale color, again, just like the Sernuk, with some blue. Now, here's the problem with the magical Chappas. When you use a Dispel arrow, it does not dispel their magic. I recommend a slowing arrow. Here's what will happen. When I shoot this creature, it's going to split into, like, multiple creatures. One of them will have the stink smell, or the stink cloud of the slowing arrow. We'll kill that one. It'll also be slower than its copies. So there we go. It splits up, and this one has the stinky, you know, stuff on it. So we know that's the real one. That's 2, and then 3, and then 4. 4 arrows, and the loot is over there. But the way it works is there's another way to track it too if you don't have the slowing arrows. Let me see if I can find another one and show you what that looks like. Alright, we have tracked it down yet another one. This time we're going to only use standard arrows. Again, the Dispel arrows do not work. It will still split into multiple copies. And the Chappa is right here. Now, this one's a little difficult because when it splits, there will be one with a kind of like a yellow glow for a second. I'm just going to run at it and let's see if we can see it. See the one with this one right here on the left. It's really hard to see. Now it's on the right. Now it's in the middle. This one right here is the real one. It kind of had a yellow glow. Oh, crap. And, well, we didn't kill it in time. It managed to escape. But if you go back and look when I spooked it, there was one that had like a yellow outline shimmer to it. And that's how you tell it's the right one. But as you can see, it runs along all its other copies. And so it's kind of like that matching, or the cup game with the ball under it, like the shell game. That's what happens. So I highly, highly, highly recommend the slowdown arrows, because what'll happen is it won't be able to keep up with its copies, and you'll be able to hunt those a little bit better. Though, honestly, the only reason to hunt them is for their tails, which they rarely drop, but also killing one of them the first time gets you its head to mount on your wall. Let's see if we can capture that one more time, and see if we can take it down with the standard arrows. I'll even show you, we'll shoot a Dispel arrow at it, and I'll show you that it doesn't work. So there we go, and it still splits. I didn't see which one shimmered. I have no idea which one of these is the real one or not. So you can shoot the fake ones, and they, yeah, it's gone. This is also why you want to get close to the magical Chappa, because you got a very short time frame to kill it, man. It is tough, and the rewards aren't that good. It's not good gold per hour to hunt these things, but hopefully that educates you. And I just want to show you, Dispel arrows, it's still magical. It'll still split up. Use the slowdown arrow. It takes 4 hits. I don't know how many it takes with a makeshift arrow. You probably couldn't kill it before it burrows and disappears. But that's pretty much the video, guys. Hunting is 20,000 gold per hour if you hunt in that very first zone that I showed you. I actually have a video that covers exactly that topic. Here's what it looks like, and then down here, 20,000 gold per hour from hunting. Best gold farm, hunting gold farm guide. Currently, out of everything I've tried for manual farming, hunting is the biggest gold per hour maker, and yes, this is after the nerf to the prices. In earlier beta, the prices for the antlers and the tails were like triple that they are currently, but it's still the best gold farm in the game for manual like gathering, not passive income. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. This took a lot of work to make. Please like the video. It really helps, reach further. And I'm so close to 100,000 subscribers, so please, please, please help me out with that. I would love it to hit 100K, especially while covering Palia. That would make me want to cover this game even longer, so please help me out with that. Also, with that said, too, I read every comment because I have no social life, so feel free to ask me anything you want about this game. And I plan to make a lot more videos, so stay tuned for that. I usually put out 1 to 2 videos a day here. I'm a very active channel because it's all I do with my life. I don't do anything else other than YouTube. That's it. I know. I don't know what's going on. But with that said, finally, on the right side of your screen is a video you should absolutely click. And if you don't click it, then you're not going to be able to kill the magical Chappa when you find one. I'm sorry, so you better click it.